Hey guys, it's Emily, and today I'm doing another 24-hour readathon. So earlier this month I participated in the Rory Gilmore 24-hour readathon hosted by Kira Foster and Carolyn Mary Reeds, and I had such a great time that I decided to recreate this experience on my own. So one of the things that I'm hoping to do this year is read more classics, and reading books off of the Rory Gilmore reading list is a great way for me to do that. So I am doing another 24-hour readathon in which I will be attempting to read as many books off of the Rory Gilmore reading list as possible. So since the last round I did a little bit of shopping, and I have a couple of options for this readathon. So the first one is Jane Austen's Northanger Abbey. I love Jane Austen. I've read 2 of her books so far, and I'm really hoping to go through her entire work soon. But this is Northanger Abbey, which is a satire of a gothic novel. This is on my fall reading list, and I am so excited to get to it. I've heard such great things about it. Then I have Letters to a Young Poet by Rainer Maria Rilke. This is so short. It's about 50 pages, and I know Carolyn read it during the last round of the Rory Gilmore 24-hour readathon, and she really enjoyed it. So I am looking forward to reading this. This is, I believe, a collection of letters, and I've seen a play adaptation of this and I really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to reading this. Then I have Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levin. This book is mentioned in the second episode. I believe this is the very first book mentioned on the show, and Rory has this box because she's going to go to school to Chilton, so she's emptying her locker in Stars Hollow High, and she has this book in her box and she drops it, and I believe Dean picks it up and says, "Hey, great movie." And this is about this woman who moves into this New York City apartment building. When she gets pregnant, her neighbors start paying special attention to her, and especially her baby, and she starts to worry that there's something wrong with these people. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think the premise is super interesting, and it's also quite short. It's about 200 pages, so I think this could be a perfect choice for a 24-hour readathon. And finally, I have another book that is on my fall TBR, and this is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. So I keep talking about this book on my channel because I keep wanting to really read this, but I never really know what to tell you guys because I know nothing about this book. I don't know what genre it falls into. I've been told that this is a mystery but also a romance. I'm confused, and I know that there's going to be a movie adaptation coming out on Netflix at the end of the month, so I really hope that I can read it before the movie comes out. But yeah, this is on the list, so maybe I could read it this round, finally get to it. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So this is my little TBR. I am really excited to read all of these, and I think this is going to be the perfect fall readathon day, and I am very excited to be doing this. So the readathon will start at midnight my time, and it's currently like 3 p.m. I'm filming this very early, but I wanted to make sure that I had my intro ready, so I will see you guys at midnight for the kickoff. Okay, so it's 11:57 p.m. The readathon starts at midnight, so we have about 3 minutes left before we have to start reading, and I think my first book will be Letters to a Young Poet by Rainer Maria Rilke. I think this is probably the best pick because it's super short. It's about 50 pages, so I can easily knock that out of the park, and then I can go to bed because I'll be honest, I am super tired. The last hour was really hard for me to stay up for because I just wanted to go off to bed. I think it's just that I'm so used to going to bed at 11 every night that whenever I stay up past my bedtime, I just feel super tired because my body's used to say like going to bed at 11 p.m. and then waking up at around 7 in the morning. So yeah, I just am super tired, and I kind of feel like just going to bed and starting my reading tomorrow morning, but I will read at midnight because this is what Rory would do. So I am just going to wait out until 12 and then we can start reading. Good morning. So I finished reading Letters to a Young Poet by Rainer Maria Rilke. So last night I went to bed at around 12:30. At some point I just couldn't really read the words on the page anymore. They were just so blurry and confusing, so I just went to bed. But this morning I managed to finish this book, and I'm not really sure how to rate this because while I did enjoy it, I think there's a lot of great advice for young creatives in this book. However, I do feel like the writing style was kind of hard to understand sometimes, not because the words themselves were difficult, but the authors went on a lot of tangents, and I feel like sometimes we lost the thread of the letters, and it was really hard to understand what each letter was about because he went on side tangents that for me just didn't feel pertinent to the topic of the letter, and so I was very confused, and I had to like reread sentences sometimes or just go back to the beginning of the letter or of the paragraph to understand what the topic was because he went on such tangents that I didn't even know what we were talking about anymore. I do have to say that the writing is very beautiful though, like it's very lyrical and you can tell that he's a poet. Like I said, I felt like it was too lyrical almost. It just felt like we lost the heart of the letter, and that for me made it so that I didn't enjoy it as much, simply because I was confused and had to figure out what the author was trying to say here. But it's kind of hard to rate as a whole because this is a collection of letters. It's not meant for a white audience to read. It was meant for the person this letter is addressed to. So I think I'm just not gonna rate this, and I feel like this is something I might want to reread because I did read part of it while I was very tired at like 12 at night. So maybe that's why I didn't fully grasp the intensity and like the pertinence of the letters. I feel like this is something I might want to reread just so that I can get a better understanding of it, because I just feel like there's a lot to uncover, and so this has many layers and I kind of want to dig deeper into it so that I can fully appreciate the advice that is given in these letters. So now it's time for me to move on to book number 2, and for me I think that will be Rosemary's Baby by EBATES. Hey, so it's about 1:30 and I am on page 138 of Rosemary's Baby, and this book is so fucking weird, and I'll dive into that a little bit more later. But right now I have to go because I'm going on a walk with my dad and my sister, so I guess we'll be taking a little break from reading, which is perfect because I honestly am starting to feel a bit tired of reading. So it's going to be perfect. The weather is absolutely amazing, so it's going to be the perfect day for a walk in nature. But I think I might be able to finish this one today and also maybe read Northanger Abbey. I don't think I'll be able to read all 4 books that I had on my TBR, but I guess we'll see. Hey, so it's 7:15 p.m. and the day has just completely gone away from me. So this afternoon I went on my walk and it was such a nice day. We had a great time, and then when I came home I played some board games with my sister, and then I finished reading Rosemary's Baby by EBATES. And how do I even talk about this book? I feel like I can't say too much about it because I would be spoiling it, and I think it's better diving into it not knowing too much about it. But at the same time, there's so much that I wish I could tell you guys. I do want to say though that there are trigger warnings for suicide, sexual assault, rape, gaslighting, so do be aware that those are things that are mentioned in the book. But this is the weirdest book I've ever read, and I don't really know how I feel about it. It's kind of difficult for me to say. There's so much that I didn't agree with, but given the context it makes sense. And I also didn't like the ending of it because it was kind of open-ended, and I wish it had like a closed ending. I believe there's a sequel though, so maybe that's why it was so open. It's kind of hard to talk about this book at all. I think I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 stars. I didn't hate this, but I also didn't love it. Like, I feel very weird about it overall. I'm glad that I've read it just so that I can say that I've read it, but at the same time I'm like, I kind of feel like I've wasted my time a little bit. This is so weird. I don't really know what to think or what to say, so I'll leave it at that. Anyway, there's about 5 hours left to the readathon, and so I think I have time to at least start something new. I don't know if I'll be able to finish the book that I'm planning on reading next, but I would like to make quite a dent in it, and I think I'm going to go with Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I'm actually really looking forward to it, so I'm hoping I will enjoy this as much as I loved Pride and Prejudice. This is probably going to be our last book of the day, so let's see if we can finish this before midnight. Hey guys, so it's about 11:30 and I am currently on page 152 of Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, and I am enjoying it, but I am super tired. Like, staying up 2 nights in a row is just not the move for me. I don't know. I am starting to like fall asleep while reading, not because the book is boring, but just because I cannot concentrate on the words anymore and I just want to go to bed. So I think I'm just going to call it a day for now. I will do a final wrap up of the readathon tomorrow, so in a couple of seconds for you guys, but I think right now we're gonna call it quits, even though there would be 30 minutes left to the readathon technically, but I'm just not feeling up for it, so I think I'm just going to go to bed and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, so it is the next day and I wanted to recap everything that I've read over the course of this readathon. So I managed to read 2 things and a half, which I'm quite satisfied with, even though I didn't read as much as I thought I would. I did spend some time with my family, which I think is important, so I'm not too mad at the progress that I've made. But now let's just recap the books that I've read. So the first thing that I've read is Letters to a Young Poet by writer Rory Gilmore. This book has 52 pages and I'm not exactly sure the rating that I gave it. So then I read Rosemary's Baby by Levin. This book has 229 pages and I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Finally, I read some of Northanger Abbey. I made it to page 152 and so far I am really enjoying it. However, I do have to mention that this book is supposed to be like this ghost story and I feel like we haven't really gotten that so far. I don't know if it's because it's coming and it's going to be later in the book, but I'm already like halfway through what the book is pitched as. Hasn't even happened yet. So it's very Jane Austen-esque, which is why I'm really enjoying it. But don't dive into it just expecting a ghost story, because I don't think it's the main aspect of the plot. I think it's part of it and it's fun, but it's not what the plot is really about. But I am really loving our main character and the love interest, the main love interest. I am looking forward to continue reading this book. So that means during the course of this readathon, I read a grand total of 433 pages. I am really happy because I did manage to cross some books off of the Rory Gilmore reading list, and I think so far that brings us to 35 things that I've read on the list, which is not bad at all, and I am making my way through another one. So I'm really happy. It's always a good opportunity for me to read some classics, so even if I had only read the one book, I would have been really happy. I really hope though that I will be able to read Rebecca eventually. I keep mentioning this book and I never get around to it, so I really hope that I will get to it sometime this season. So I guess that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you'd like to see more Rory Gilmore related content, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. It really helps out my channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I guess that's it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!